Good evening and welcome to Front Page on the AIM Network, India's definitive media organization on everything definitive and voice on everything AI and technology. Tonight's episode is very special. It throws up a lot of interesting questions, some fabulous announcements. So here are the headlines. India's semiconductor ambition just shifted gears. Tata Electronics has partnered with Japan's ROHM to manufacture essential automotive chips domestically, cementing India's place in the global EV supply chain. This moves the country from planning to production, but what specific technology is actually being built? A historic double victory for Andhra Pradesh. As Amaravati secures official capital status, CM Naidu unveils a massive quantum valley blueprint to train 200,000 professionals with 100 crore rupees Nobel pledge and 51% women participation. The ambition is sky high. But how exactly will this new capital build actual quantum hardware? Well, we'll break it down. India's tech hub is hitting the brakes. With nearly 1 lakh students rushing into computer science annually, the government fears a massive unemployment bubble as AI reshapes hiring. They plan to cap seats to force diversification, but is restricting education the solution? Or will it just drive talent away? And finally, fresh off a massive $240 million Series E raise and a $5.5 billion valuation, AI DevOps giant Harness is doubling down on India. The company plans to hire 1,000 engineers in Bengaluru to build the critical outer loop of software. But why is this Silicon Valley unicorn moving its core research and development brain right here? Good evening. This is Front Page by AIM Network. India's semiconductor story has hit another crucial and significant milestone. So have you ever wondered why EVs, cars, or industrial machines become expensive or delayed? This is one of the chips that quietly decides that. And this milestone is where it truly matters: power electronics and automotive semiconductors. Japan's ROHM, one of the world's most respected semiconductor companies, whose power chips quietly run factories, energy systems, and a lot more across the world, has signed a strategic manufacturing partnership with Tata Electronics to assemble and test automotive-grade chips in India. So if you've been following Front Page, which I'm sure you have been, we've covered this tectonic semiconductor shift when Tata announced its $14 billion fab and Intel partnership. This ROHM deal is the next big layer on top of that strategy. So, well, First is phase one, which is very sharply defined, which is Tata will assemble and test ROHM's India designed 100V 300A automotive grade silicon MOSFET in toll package, with mass production targeted by next year. Power semiconductors are not your everyday chips. This is the kind of chip that decides how efficiently an EV converts battery power into motion and how much heat it wastes doing it. They actually control electric vehicles, automotive powertrains, industrial machines, energy systems, AI era power infrastructure. So without power semiconductors, nothing really moves, nothing accelerates, and nothing scales. This partnership does three big things: moves India deeper into automotive semiconductor manufacturing, accelerates domestic value addition, strengthens a trusted, resilient global supply chain. So, why does this matter? And so much? Because building fabs without power and automotive chips is like building, well, highways without engines. And this locks directly into India's broader semiconductor strategy. Tata's $11 billion fab in Dholera, Gujarat. Tata's $3 billion OSAT facility in Assam. Tata's expanding packaging ecosystems. India's push to build the entire semiconductor value chain. And Tata's recently announced collaboration to manufacture and package Intel chips in India. So now, if we add ROHM to that equation, India now has then global chip design, global chip partners, manufacturing capacity, packaging infrastructure, and finally, fabulous credibility. The partnership roadmap includes mass production by next year, co developing advanced chip packaging technologies, expanding semiconductor product lines from India, serving both Indian and international markets. So, if executed well, this creates high skilled semiconductor jobs, a talent flywheel, a maturing semiconductor ecosystem across Gujarat and Assam. And most importantly, India shifts from chip dependent to chip producing to chip exporting. And in conclusion, here is the front page take. The Tata ROHM partnership means this: it is a hard manufacturing commitment. It anchors India deeper into automotive and power semiconductor supply chains. It actually signals global trust, serious execution, and long term strategy. With Tata building fabs, OSAT facilities, Intel manufacturing partnerships, and now ROHM automotive chips, India's semiconductor ambition no longer looks like a dream. It actually finally has started to look like a magnificent plan with factories, timelines, and deployment. And of course, the world is beginning to take notice. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Front Page by AIM Network. Like, share, subscribe, and always remember, think AI, think AIM.
Family, one entrepreneur is my concept. 25 years back, 30 years back, I started promoting one family, one IT professional. That has made Telugu community proud, becoming number one per capita income earners all over the world. Now I am talking one family, one entrepreneur, one family, one IT use case, or they have to use AI. AI or AI use case, they have to adopt it.
Wow, that is amazing. Today is a historic day for Andhra Pradesh and honestly, for India. Amaravati has officially received the centre's nod as the capital of Andhra Pradesh. And on the very same day, Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu has laid out one of the boldest, clearest, most execution first blueprints India has seen for any next gen technology. turning Amaravati into the quantum valley of the world, launching the world's largest quantum skilling program, training 50,000 students immediately, scaling to 1 lakh quantum professionals in 3 years and 2 lakh plus in 5 years. So, in partnership with Wiser, QB Tech, Q Krishi, IIT Madras, IIT Tirupati, and India's National Quantum Mission, the event brought India's top science leadership together. DST Secretary Dr. Abhay Karnataka aligned it with the National Quantum Mission. IIT Madras Director Professor V. Kamakoti announced a physical quantum computer and tiered training. IIT Tirupati Director Professor K.N. Satyanarayanan highlighted AP's rapid execution and full ecosystem approach. Visor's Prachi Vakharia declared this the world's largest quantum skilling program with global talent pathways. And students emphasized that while others pay heavy fees for quantum education, Andhra students are getting world class access at minimal cost, turning ambition into real inclusive opportunity. And it even gets more interesting. With 51% of women representation, which is unheard of in deep tech skilling, we are praying that this works. And if it does, Amravati will not just be a political capital. No, it could become the brain of India's quantum future. But before we dive deep, as always, this is Front Page by AIM Network. Like, share, and subscribe. So let's get into the depths of what has happened today and what a historic day it is. Two tectonic announcements collided today. First, after years of uncertainty, Amaravati finally has political legitimacy again as the capital of Andhra Pradesh. Second, on the very same day, Naidu didn't talk IT parks. He didn't talk outsourcing. He talked quantum computing, deep tech, sovereign compute, and future civilizations. And unlike generic innovation vision speeches, this one came with hard numbers, fixed goals, global partners, and timelines. Naidu is basically redrawing Andhra Pradesh on a deep tech map. Vishakhapatnam, let's start there. Data centers and AI powerhouses. Tirupati, which is Space City anchored by Shriya Harikota. Kopparuthi and Anantapura, which is electronics, semiconductors, drones. Green Hydrogen Valley, renewables and future fuels. And at the center, Amravati, which is Quantum Valley. Now, this is about building an actual physical quantum ecosystem. Quantum hardware parks, algorithm and application hubs, global research facilities, deep tech startups, tens of thousands of high-end jobs. And yes, Amaravati is planning a physical quantum computer on ground, not just cloud access. So today, over 50,000 tech students joined Andhra Pradesh's Quantum Talk program. 51% of them, yes, you've guessed it, women. Truly a moment to be proud of. So the list reads out like this: quantum, hard science, deep research, 51% women. And that alone is quite historic. This is backed by Wiser, a DARPA inspired US STEM Institute training global deep tech talent, IIT Madras and IIT Tirupati, anchoring curriculum and faculty depth. National Quantum Mission, proving national alignment. IBM, TCS, CSIR, CDAC, enabling internships and industry access. And as far as the road ahead is concerned, it looks like this: 50,000 trained now, 1 lakh trained in 3 years, over 2 lakh quantum ready professionals in 5 years. Top students get advanced tracks. Top 100 get internships at IBM, TCS, national labs, and global institutions. So, for a student in Guntur, Vizag, Tirupati, Nellore, Anantapura, this is a direct pipeline into the future of computing, which did not exist till yesterday. 30 years ago, Naidu told Telugu families, make sure at least one child becomes an IT professional. That created generational wealth. It created global diaspora leadership. It created Hyderabad. Today, he has upgraded that very idea to one family, one technology use case, not just employment, ownership, leadership, IP, wealth creation. And here is the moment which nobody expected. Chandrababu Naidu talked Nobel Prizes. Yes, a sitting chief minister told 50,000 students Andhra Pradesh should produce Nobel level innovation. And he didn't simply dream out aloud. He backed it with a standing state commitment, which is 100 crore rupees prize for the first Nobel laureate emerging from Andhra's ecosystem. And if Amaravati truly becomes a quantum lab city, a startup civilizational engine, and a research magnet, then yes, one day when Stockholm calls a name, the affiliation may just read Amravati, Andhra Pradesh, India. And with that powerful aspirational moment, thought, dream, here is the front page take. So tonight, Amravati stands at a rare intersection: politically legitimized capital, scientifically ambitious capital, and potentially the quantum capital of the world. Whether this becomes a case study in flawless execution or a cautionary note in overpromise, this will depend entirely on what Andhra does in the next 5 to 7 years. But intention, clarity, courage, definitely tonight was undeniable. Please let us know what you think in the comments below. This is Front Page by AIM Network. Like, share, subscribe, and always remember, think AI, think Amravati, definitely think Quantum Valley, and of course, think AIM. Well, interesting times is something which I would like to start with. On one hand, you have a state that is looking to create more jobs. On the other hand, you have Karnataka, which is asking a hard question today. So, out of 1.53 lakh engineering seats in the state, nearly 1 lakh seats are now in computer science and allied streams. Hiring has slowed, entry level coding roles are shrinking, AI is beginning to automate what used to be the first jobs in technology. And the government now believes this imbalance could trigger the next unemployment crisis. So, Karnataka is planning to cap CS related engineering seats, arguing that unchecked supply, outdated curricula, and copy paste course expansion across private universities are flooding the market with degrees, not, and this is important, employability. But this isn't as simple as, well, too many computer science seats. Because if you cap seats without fixing quality curriculum diversification into core engineering, hardware, manufacturing, semiconductors, deep tech, and industry linkages, you don't solve unemployment. You just push students to other states. And tonight on Front Page, we are asking, is Karnataka preventing a crisis or admitting that India built one of the world's largest tech talent pipelines without building the jobs, depth, and future skills to sustain it? Well, I would like to have our tech journalist, Mr. Bala Subramaniam, to join us. He's been covering this for a while. Bala, a big warm welcome to you on Front Page. It's so good to have you with us to actually expand on these, well, I can say very interesting times.
Yeah,
I would, of course, like for you to maybe first set the context for all of us. Let's
yeah,
start with
sure.
what triggered the discussion on engineering seat capping as far as the assembly was concerned.
Yeah, thanks, Sudhir. Thanks for inviting me. So this happened a week back. Like it happened in the Legislative Council. It was an exchange between the Higher Education Minister Sudhakar and a BJP MLC Dhananjay Sarji. So basically, it was talking about the disparity between non computer science engineering courses as well as computer science related courses. So basically, the BJP MLC was talking about this disparity and how it is skewed towards private uh, colleges and universities. So he was flagging this thing saying 1.53 lakh seats are Karnataka is offering 1.1.5 lakh seats, but
Yeah.
1 lakh seats are almost computer science related. That is one particular umbrella figure we have, and among this, within this, we have like 29 private universities offering 33,000 seats, whereas 27 government engineering colleges offering about 6,500 engineering seats. So that shows the the the
The
balance which is
disparity,
shifting
the
towards. Yeah,
huge imbalance. But also,
yeah,
Bala,
yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong,
yeah,
the government colleges where you're saying that there are about 6,500 seats,
yeah,
engineering seats, as you just
yeah.
mentioned, how many are specific to computer science?
So in among this 6,500, it's only like 10 percentage of the seats are computer science related. So this is
Wow.
exactly what he was highlighting,
So that's only about what,
and
650 odd
600
seats
something.
somewhere there,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
as against
and
33,000.
yeah, exactly. So this is not the first time Karnataka government is talking about this. Government being the government, it has to be concerned about the long-term impact. So 2 years back, Sudhakar has written to AICTE saying,
Hmm.
asking the regulatory, I mean the authority, a regulatory body to not have a check on allowing colleges to start new courses and start offering new uh, floating new colleges. So it's like the continuation of what is happening since last 2 years. And another thing that we have to note here is the BJP MLC was telling how he took the case of one particular university where he says the university has around 4,320 engineering seats, out of
Sure.
which 4,020 seats are computer science related. So this
Wow.
again talks about how it is it's the private colleges are offering more to catering to the demand of the technology.
Okay. Which brings me to this point, which is,
Yeah,
could a glut in CS related seats be a major
yeah.
reason for an unemployment crisis in the future? Let's address the elephant in the room.
Yeah. So based on our interactions with the academicians, the high industry bodies, and the hiring companies, the demand, it could relate to an unemployment crisis, but if we'll have to see it in one particular context. The demand is there, the supply is there, but the
Hmm.
quality is a major issue, which the stakeholders are pointing at. So without the quality, the supply will be there because of the number of colleges
Sure.
and the seats. So without quality, the unemployment crisis is
Is inevitable.
inevitable. Yeah, inevitable.
Bala, tell me this. I mean, two things that you just pointed out. One is the fact that
Yeah,
the employability aspect, that is a
yeah,
question mark, which brings
yeah.
us to the quality factor and
Correct.
logically connects to the idea of, is this a wonderful way of churning out another form of an industry which is in education, which is making money for private institutes? I'd like to, well, clearly ask you this because this definitely jumps off the page.
Yeah,
And also, sorry, I'll also like to ask you, who is deciding the curricular quality. If you could
Yeah.
also maybe shed light on that for the
Yeah.
viewers.
So in Karnataka, there is an authority that offers these accreditations for colleges, which is Vishvesvaraya Technological University. That is the first check. And then recently, the state government has asked for an NOC before applying for the approvals for new colleges,
Hmm.
new courses. So ultimately, it is the AICT that is the regular overseeing body that will have a check on all these colleges and courses. So,
Okay.
but despite all these things, the ground reality has been uh, far from uh, far
Far
away
from
from the
nice.
quality. Yeah, far from nice. So faculty shortages. Again, the same thing was pointed out by the BJP MLC in the Legislative Council. He spoke about faculty shortages, outdated curriculum, and
Hmm.
these are the things that is differing from uh, what it should be in reality.
Which then clearly connects to that fact which I was talking about, Bala, that at the
Yeah,
end of the day is just churning out like a machine without
yeah,
actually having any quality checks whatsoever.
yeah,
And what could be probably done, that
yeah,
at least that is plugged as a gap.
yeah. Exactly. And also, if you see it's also seen by a lot of people as a lot of industry observers as private institutions making more money out of this,
Correct.
like making hay while the sun shines.
Sure.
So and also a lot of academicians have told us that if the regulation is happening on ground with in its full capacity, this kind of disparity can be avoided. But that's what the government is trying to bring in by involving by suggesting a plan to rationalize the number of seats.
Okay. Which brings me to this point, which is, since you just mentioned the government is trying. So if the government brings a cap, what would be the impact according to you, Bala? And of course,
Yeah,
according to your discussions with a lot of the experts.
yeah. So basically, if there is a cap uh, based on stakeholder consultation. It's like if it is a collaborative effort, then it
Hmm.
will reduce the extreme number of concentration of such disciplines in colleges, and it will restore the balance. And it will also put a check on quality. Like there'll be more quality of courses that will be coming available to the students, and these courses will be more outcome focused than
Okay.
just like a degree which anybody would want to take. It'll be more focused
Hmm.
on the outcomes. And
The
the negative
employability
side,
aspect.
yeah, the employability aspect. And if you see the negative side, it will be if there is a cap, all observers are saying that student migration to other states will happen, and it will be inevitable. And other states,
Also, another
especially,
thought that came to my mind, Bala,
yeah,
the
yeah,
negative aspect is,
yeah,
at one end, we are talking about huge investments into the
yeah,
states as far as the
yeah,
infrastructure is
exactly,
concerned. So, creating new opportunities as far as
yeah,
jobs, etc., all those things are concerned, right?
yeah,
And on
yeah,
the other,
and
we are talking about this, a
yeah,
capping.
exactly, exactly. And also with the states, having this soft fight for investments. So this will add another layer of competition between the states. Uh, like the neighboring states will start attracting more students from Karnataka. So things like these might happen, and there'll be a risk of talent leakage from the state. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So, okay,
yeah,
Bala, in finality, I would like to understand from you, let's say personally, because you have been covering this.
yeah.
What comes to you naturally? as probably a balanced way. We've addressed the problem, that's been understood. Okay, there is an
Yeah.
issue, curricula is not that great, employability is not taking place.
Yeah.
What can be the balanced way to move forward for the government?
Yeah. So, during the recent interactions, everybody unanimously say that it should be taken based on data driven rationalization. There
Mm,
should be no blanket caps, and it should take a collaborative effort. So these are the major things, and there must be stronger enforcement of laws on the ground. And
mm,
since AI is permeating into all the walks of life,
yeah.
they are also suggesting uh, inclusion of AI and related courses in other disciplines as well, so that it doesn't other students from other streams won't miss out on the emerging technologies.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Bala, a very, very astute and experienced tech journalist, talking about, well, a very important aspect which I believe is affecting and can very deeply affect times to come. Employability is where everyone puts in all the hard work for. So, if that in itself is not getting addressed, then I believe that is something which needs to be looked into very minutely. We would definitely like to know, what do you feel as far as could be the maybe the balanced solution that can take place and ensure that we don't hit a crisis. Please do let us know in the comments below. This front page by AIM Network. Like, share, subscribe, and always remember, think AI, think AIM. Good evening. This is Front Page by AIM Network. One of the world's most influential AI DevOps companies, Harness, founded by serial entrepreneur Jyoti Bansal, has just made a decisive India move. Bengaluru is officially becoming one of the company's most strategic engineering hubs. Harness has grown its India workforce by 75% in just a year, from 270 to 480 employees across research and development, platform intelligence, cybersecurity, testing, infrastructure reliability, GTM, and operations. And this is just phase one. The company has made its intent crystal clear, which is India will scale to 1,000 plus employees over the next 3 years. 60 to 70% of developer time still gets consumed after the code is written. Testing, securing, deployment, reliability, and of course, cost optimization, going along with production scale management across distributed systems. Harness calls this the outer loop of software development. This, after the code reality, is where the world now needs AI the most. And that's exactly what Harness wants to solve from India. Harness is turning India into a deep engineering ownership center, not a support office. So let's not get that wrong. Bengaluru teams are now central to harness AI platform intelligence, intelligent testing automation, security aware DevOps, cloud cost optimization engines, resiliency workflows for mission critical systems. So, hiring is building structures, talent pipelines, which means engineers from IITs, BITS, top universities, strong internship pipelines, capability first hiring beyond pedigree, engineers trusted with product ownership, not ticket execution. And of course, they're doubling down on community building, developer programs, campus partnerships, and of course, ecosystem engagement. In fact, we at AIM had the opportunity to attend Harness's first event in India, AI Connect, where we had an exclusive conversation with the founder and CEO of Harness, Jyoti Bansal. Please make sure that you will go ahead and stay tuned and watch it because it is fabulous. Harness now sits on extremely strong strategic footing, which is $240 million. Series E raised this year, valuation at $5.5 billion, merger with Traceable in March 2025, acquisition of Quiet AI in October 2025. And all of that funnels directly into one objective, which is build the world's most powerful AI DevSecOps platform with India as a core engineering brain. Of course, Harness expanding to 1,000 plus India engineers signals three big shifts. India is becoming the world's AI engineering workshop, not for cheap labor, but for deep problem solving. The future of software will be decided after code, not before it, and Harness is placing India at the center of that very battlefield. Global AI companies are no longer exploring India. They are actually committing long term capital, research development, product ownership, and leadership right here. So, if the execution continues at this pace, India will build the AI infrastructure that powers how software shifts globally. Of course, as we had mentioned, please stay tuned. Our senior editorial producer, Amit Rajanayak, will soon be in an exclusive conversation with Jyoti Bansal. He, of course, will be digging deeper into Harness's India strategy, their AI roadmap, and what building the world's most advanced DevOps AI platform truly looks like. Well, as we always say it, you'll see it first right here because this is Front Page by AIM Network. Like, share, subscribe, and always remember, think AI, think AIM.
Thank you, Sudhi, for that warm introduction. On today's front page, we are asking one simple question. What do Replit, Lovable, and thousands of vibe coding platforms and tools are missing? It's the harness. And today we are in Harness's office here in Namma, Bengaluru. And we are directly meeting the founder and CEO of Harness. Welcome to Front Page, Jyoti. Lovely. So, Jyoti, I heard you guys are expanding here in India, and I just set the context to our viewers in terms of what Harness does. So, can you give our viewers the glimpse into what really happens in the software development lifecycle, just to understand where Harness stands in the entire software development lifecycle area? And how are you guys cleaning the mess of, say, Replit or Lovable? Yeah.
Sure. So if you look at like software engineering as a process, there's the inner loop of software engineering, what a developer does on their laptop. That's about the first 30% of the job.
Correct.
Once you do the inner loop and you commit the code, that's the 70% of the job happens after that, which is testing, security,
Correct.
deployment, optimization. And many times people ask me like, why does it take so long?
Correct.
And most companies, it does take that long because it's like 30 different things you have to do.
Correct.
You have to do like 8 different kinds of testing: unit testing, load testing, regression testing, API testing. You have to do 8 different kind of security work like code vulnerability scan, supply chain security. You have open source library checks, compliance approvals. You have to do like 8 different kinds of deployment stuff like code deployment, database deployment, infrastructure as code,
Correct.
artifact management, rollback verification. You have to do then like FinOps optimization kind of work for data cost, AI cost, and all of these things take a lot of time and a lot of energy. And whether humans are writing code or you write code with AI, you still need to do this stuff. Right? With AI code, it's the need goes much higher. Like the code comes out, at most it will get 90% accurate.
Correct.
If you are the best, the most proficient developer, maybe you get more accurate. But when you ship something in production, say imagine you're an airline or a bank or a retail company, insurance company, you have hundreds of millions of consumers. We can't afford one line of bug, right? It's like it can bring the whole thing down.
Correct.
So you need the safety harness. That's what we are. Like we are the for all of the vibe code. Like I call ourselves, we are the safety harness for the vibe code or any code, right?
Correct.
The human generated code, AI generated code, mostly we'll see like combination of those, and we secure it. We make sure it's deployed properly. We roll back if something goes wrong. We make sure like all the tasks you have to do that could be done with like 70-80% more efficiency.
Got it. Got it. And Jyoti, coming to India, right? I mean, it's a very special place for you. You come from Rajasthan, small town, made it big in Silicon Valley, started multiple companies, like 2 companies there. App Dynamic, you sold it to Cisco, which was almost hitting IPO, but then Cisco bought it. So I just want to understand, like, this is your like the third startup, if I am right. So I want to understand, like, if someone's watching from, say, tier 2 cities, or small town, or someone who is watching this interview right now, you have shown that it is possible to do the impossible, right? You have been a software engineer yourself. You have seen the nitty-gritties of how companies are using all of these technology, and you have even built AI tool even before Cloud or any of the LLMs that existed for the software development lifecycle there. So within App Dynamics and all of that, and now you've started, I mean, Harness, and you're at the right time, at the right place. You even raised funding recently to 40 million from Goldman Sachs, alongside Menlo Ventures and others. Very fascinating journey. If somebody is watching, can you tell them, like, uh, uh, how close, or how meaningful India is for you in terms of the next journey of scale that you're doing. You're expanding here with say 1,200 employees. You're hiring aggressively. So what India means to you, coming from this particular place? You've shown the impossible, and you also joined the billionaire list recently as well. So you've shown what impossible, kind of thing. So so what are we doing here today? Can you set the context for
Sure,
our
yeah.
viewers?
First of all, like, thanks for that that background there. I grew up, like many of us that I work with, like, in a
Correct.
small town in India. Went to IIT, studied computer science, went to Silicon Valley at that time, and I've created products to help with software engineering.
Correct.
It's
Yeah.
like that's why my passion has been. It's like, how do we build the right tool chain in front of developers? And to me, it's I'm a product person. In at the end of the day, I like to build great products,
Correct.
and my passion is to build products for developers. And we have been doing that at Harness. We did that App Dynamics. And we really think this problem is very big problem, that we need to automate and bring the right tool chain to developers to do all the DevOps and security and testing and all these kind of tasks. So to me, India is the place where some of the best engineering talent in the world is like, we have great schools. We have a lot of right ecosystem of tech startups, all kind of tech companies. So we are investing very heavily in our R&D center in here in Bangalore. We have beautiful office we just opened here.
Yeah.
We grew from about 250 people to close to 450 now. We will be more than 600 in the next 12 months. Growing to 1,000 plus in the next few years. That's our goal is, and we are building a lot of innovation from here. And so we have our Silicon Valley offices, and we have our Bangalore offices are two primary R&D locations. And we are hiring people for for a lot of kind of AI research, a lot of software engineering, a lot of good context engineering, all the work that we're building for this AI for everything that happens after the code is written.
Correct.
And there are so many problems to be solved, like, so to me it's like, it's India is a big part of our story, and India is a big part of how we build all of this innovation.
Got it. So if I'm not wrong, you have like 14 offices, and more than 1,000 customers is what you have. Very fascinating journey. So I want to understand, like, if somebody wants to apply at Harness, what is that mindset is required? Say you said there are a lot of Jyotis, like similar journey, right? So what is that culture at Harness that makes them ready for, or what are the roles that you're hiring, and also, like, what is that mindset that takes for people to join Harness, and how is the hiring activity
Sure.
going? Yeah.
We are looking for problem solvers, like people who take pride in solving a problem. We normally don't look for, like, someone wants to build a technology for the sake of technology, right? It's mostly about what problem we solve, how do we solve the problem the best, and people who take pride in that. And I always call, like, the best people are always who take pride in their craft. Our craft is building great software.
Correct.
And we are building great software for software engineers.
Correct.
So, like, we want people who will take pride in it. They want to solve problems in any kind of the problem areas. Culturally, we are a very different kind of startup. Like, we are a startup. We are 1,200 employees, but still a startup. And but we organize ourselves as multiple small startups inside.
Got
Call
it.
them startups within a startup. So Harness is about 15 different startups.
Got it.
And what that creates is a lot of ownership and independence to people. So like, if you're building a new capability, like say, let's solve the problem of load testing through AI.
Got it.
So we'll create an internal startup,
Got it.
and this is like a small group of people who take ownership, who take a responsibility for it, and they drive the innovation of solving that problem inside the harness ecosystem, where we will give them. There's a platform of like shared AI, shared code base, customers, go to market, all the resources that you would need for your startup to succeed. But it creates a lot of independence and ownership. So ideally, the people that we want and to come, who would want to want to take pride in their craft of software engineering, do some really good innovation. They want to solve problems. They like to operate in a more independent, ownership kind of way.
So you mentioned like almost like 15 plus startup within harness there. You're harnessing startups, like, which is very unique in itself. So which one do you think, like which area of startups, like I'm sure like every quarter you would be having 3 new startups getting added within harness, and the growth continues. So I want to understand like which area that you have identified which is going to be like a unicorn within your companies of startups there.
Sure. It's interesting. Our goal is that all of ours will become unicorn internally.
Got it.
And the definition of unicorn is, let's say, 100 million of revenue. Let's say,
Correct.
at 100 million of ARR, you're
Generating, yeah.
generally a unicorn.
Correct.
So we have like, our all the things that we do is like we really have one product, but these startups are like different use cases of the software delivery process. We put them into 4 buckets. There's DevOps, there is testing, there is application security, and there is FinOps, like
Correct.
cost of. So you want from a software engineering process, there's high velocity with DevOps and
Correct.
automation. There is high quality.
Correct.
There is high efficiency and high security. Those are the 4 things you want. So we have like, different starters for like CI/CD and infrastructure as code, artifact management, internal developer portals. These are all like different modules in our platform, and they operate as their own startups. Same with like security testing, API security, or supply chain security, so feature experimentation, SRE with AI, testing.
Correct.
We have for FinOps, all kind of startups. Few of them are already unicorns. Like, we'll have, in the next year, we have at least two are in the 100 million plus. In the next year, there will be like, some, one is already there, the first one we started.
Damn.
So we have like we have multiple unicorns inside the harness.
Harness.
Harness as a company, and ideally the goal is all of them will become like,
Correct.
our goal is like, each one of the things that we start,
Correct.
yeah, they should reach 100 million revenue.
Correct.
So like the 15 startups we have, I would want all of them to get 200 million revenue.
Correct.
Some will get there faster, some will get there slower.
Correct.
But each of these use cases are that big of opportunity. If you look at, say, testing,
Correct.
just the notion of UI testing, it's a very big problem for people to solve.
Correct. Correct.
You look at load testing, it's a very big problem to solve. CI/CD for code deployment is a big problem to solve.
Correct.
You have infrastructure as code, and these are all big problems on their own, and we think each one of them will succeed. Startups also come with failures, so that's very important too. Like,
Correct.
it's not, and failure is part of the process.
Correct.
If you stigmatize failure too much, then you
Correct.
can't really start a new startup, like whether externally or internally. Like,
Correct.
many times people ask me like, what makes Silicon Valley special?
Correct.
So like in Silicon Valley is one place, like, if you have a failed startup on your resume,
Correct.
it's not a bad thing at all. Like, no one will not hire you because you have a failed startup on your resume.
Correct.
And that's, I see that same culture now in Bangalore as well, which is a great
Correct,
thing. Like,
yeah.
that's the part of failures are part of it.
Correct.
So when we do internally the startup within startup culture, that's also part of our culture. Like,
Correct.
we experiment, we do things, and some things don't work out, and that's totally okay.
Amazing, amazing. So just before I move to the tech stack side of things, I just want to talk about agents, right? So you spoke about all the startups within startups. I'm sure all of them are automating with a lot of agents, and you're kind of automating that life cycle as well to get the outcome to your enterprise customers as well. So I just want to understand, like there are multiple questions here, but the first question is in terms of that is on everyone's mind. Will it reduce the team size for enterprise customers if they are using tools like Harness for their outcomes? It can be in terms of revenue, in terms of optimizing their cloud cost, or it can in terms of reducing the complete developer lifecycle and getting to production as well. So you're helping in all of that. So my question firstly is, will this reduce the team size? Will there be job losses versus what are the new roles that are going to be created? What are the opportunities? I'm sure you work very closely with all of these 1,000+ customers. You would be hearing this conversation. Should we reduce the team size? And also, what are the hiring? Which roles would be elevated? What are the new roles that are going to create? If you can ease those confusion for our viewers, that will be great. Yeah.
So let me start with a little bit of the technology of agents.
Correct.
You know, everyone is building agents. Like
Correct,
you're like there is and building agents is very easy.
Correct.
You know, you can build as a good software engineer these days. You can build an agent in days or hours, or at least in a week. You can build an agent that you can demo in a very good way.
Correct.
From a demo version of an agent to like a real enterprise ready agent that works, that's the hard part.
Correct.
And a lot of times people don't realize, like, that's, we still have to go through the journey. And at Harness, we are very, very focused on that. Like, if you want to solve problem for a large airline or a large bank, a large retailer,
Correct.
it has the agents have to work for them.
Correct.
So what at Harness, what we do is we build these purpose-built agents for all the different tasks, like, CI/CD, feature experimentation, security testing, FinOps, all these things.
Correct.
But these agents are only useful if they have the right context.
Got it.
So a lot of the innovation at what we do at Harness is about managing the context.
Got it.
And context is the context of a business, of an enterprise.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So like say like which we call a knowledge graph.
Correct,
Knowledge graph of the entire software delivery of the software engineering process. Their security policies, their testing, their services, their infrastructure, their incidents, everything that's happening. We learn from it all, and that's the context that the agents are using to set it up for any business.
Correct.
And that's the hard part that we do, right? So now for like, once AI becomes real for enterprises, when they start getting the efficiency gains, what happens?
Correct.
Like that's the broad question. Like it's a question for all of us as society. I do think whenever there is an automation related efficiency gain, normally it creates more opportunities for people to do more things.
Correct.
Like in the world of software engineering, like when we had from like assembly language to C++,
correct,
people will say, oh, we don't need programmers now because C++ does most of the stuff. But the number of programmers increased heavily.
correct,
And then C++ became Java, and people say, oh, C++ I have to do so many things, and Java I don't need to do these things.
correct,
We need less programmers, and the number of Java programmers exploded.
correct,
And so it's yet to be seen, like,
correct,
what happens with the programming. What we are seeing in the market right now, it's not that people are taking like, okay, they're getting more efficient with especially like the larger companies and the larger businesses. All the efficiencies they're doing, they're building it to, using it to build more innovation.
correct,
So everyone has a big backlog. Like, if you're in software engineering, like the backlogs are never empty. So like the efficiency gain goes into building out your backlog. That's where the initially things are. If you're a very small startup, like a 3%, 5%, 10%, yes, you can start with smaller. So that's something where we see like, okay, small teams can do much more.
correct.
Once you start getting into a larger enterprise, the efficiency gains are not fully there yet.
Got it.
Or they are being used for, for more innovation.
Understood.
At some point, what happens with software engineering, right? That's the question I get asked, oh, should you study software engineering?
No, if I have to put it in one line, it is like, there's a statement that, AI agent is eating SaaS. So what will happen after that, like once it's done? Like
No, I don't believe this AI agent, eating SaaS thing. It's kind of like, like say think of a CRM or a marketing automation, like the classic SaaS. The reason people buy from a Salesforce or someone like that, so that they don't have to build their own.
correct,
And they all try to build their own. Like every business used to build their own CRM.
correct,
And then like companies like, SaaS products came in. And they say, you don't need to build your own. We would be much more efficient in doing it because we'll have more expertise. We'll have like, more, advantage of like working with thousands and thousands of customers and solve it in a more efficient way.
correct,
That's why people move to SaaS.
correct,
Now let's say AI agents come in. And AI, so now the same customer, like, you're an insurance company and you say, instead of building my own, I'm going to buy from a CRM from a SaaS vendor.
correct.
Now AI agents come in and someone says, oh, you can build your own CRM, AI will code it all. The reality is it's not going to be like, you still going to lack the expertise. You still have to maintain what is being built.
Correct.
And a company like who's built CRM for a living, like a SaaS company,
Correct.
they also have AI agents. So they will also get the efficiency gains.
Correct.
And they will still do a better job than any company doing it. So I don't buy that, now every business can build their own SaaS apps. So you don't need SaaS vendors.
Correct.
The SaaS vendors are not sitting idle, or any SaaS vendor who sits idle, they will die. But most SaaS vendors will become very AI powered as
Correct.
well.
So that's a logical transition that is anyways happening, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So I think before like I delve into your customers, you have 1,000+ customers, so that viewers also get the example in terms of how your harness has impacted their business. United Airlines that we were discussing earlier. Then you have other customers. So you can share a few use
I'll
cases.
share a few
Yeah,
examples.
yeah,
Like you mentioned United Airlines,
Correct, yeah.
large airline in the US. About an airline like that, employs a lot of software engineers. There are about
Correct.
8,000 software engineers.
Correct.
And engineers spend a lot of time on deployment, testing, these kind of work.
Correct.
So for United Airlines, you cut it down by 75% with our AI.
Very
It's a
nice.
big gain on this is also not the kind of work engineers want to do anyways.
Correct.
So if we can automate most of that through AI agents and through automated pipelines, for deployment, testing, security, 75% gain is a heavy gain on that.
Correct.
I'll give another example. A Citibank.
Correct. Yeah.
Citibank is like 40,000 developers.
Correct.
20,000 are on Harness platform now there.
Wow.
And they used to take 3.5 weeks for code to ship. Like, developer writes code.
Correct.
By the time code goes in production,
Correct.
there was a 3.5 week process.
Correct.
And it's like all kind of checks and balances you have to do. Like you're that's one of the largest banks in the world.
Correct.
And you have to do security controls, all kind of testing, everything. And now all of that could be done in 20 minutes. Like
Amazing.
everything is is a fully automated process that our AI agents will maintain.
Correct.
And yes, tests will fail and they should fail. Checks will fail, they should fail. But when everything passes in 20 minutes, you can go from a code to production at the complexity of a large bank like that. So that's the impact that we can make.
Got it.
And Harness, we put a lot of focus on real impact in real world, massively complex applications, like how the AI and automation can bring a lot of velocity, a lot of resiliency,
Correct.
high security, cost reduction, all of those things.
Correct. So I just want to understand, like, are these like customized solution for each, say, Citibank you mentioned, also have like United, Australian bank as well. So I just want to understand, like, are these customized solution that you provide, or it is like a plug-in for them to use completely, and it is same across industries or across?
Yeah, it's same across everyone. There's no customized solution.
There's no customized. Okay.
Yeah, so we sell a product. We are not a services company.
Correct.
We for 1,000 actually we're for 1,000 plus and large enterprise customers, and where we have like less than 20 people in our services org.
Correct.
So it's we just help people like set up a little bit here and there.
Correct.
But it's a product that people just use for software engineering teams will use for their purposes.
Got it.
And there's a lot of flexibility in it, so people can people can configure for their environments. And then once we start learning the knowledge graph, that is what creates the AI agents to customize for that organization.
So say someone like CTO or CDO is watching this. So how would they what would be their journey to harness like?
So the journey to harness is like, you will start by, let's say if you are running an engineering team of a few hundred engineers or a few thousand engineers, and you want to reduce all of the developer toil on the DevOps task and testing and all that.
Correct.
You just sign up for Harness, go to our website, sign up for it, or like talk to our sales team and someone will get involved. And we take care of all these different tasks in the 15 different modules. But normally we ask people like start with one or two, like don't need to go do all 15, like, So many times people will start with modernization of their deployment pipelines, that everything is fully automated. Some people will start with security testing as the big pain area. FinOps or cost optimization is another area. So normally we say start with like a few, completely automate those, then take the next two, automate those. It's kind of like, you can have a fully automated factory that, code comes in and the code goes all the way down to production with all of this fully automated. But you can start with a few things, get success, then another things, get success.
Got it. So I think what are the challenges that comes with being a product company? Like I'm sure you get a lot of these queries. This is not working. That is not working. So what are some of the challenges that you've been facing? Scaling to all of these 1,000+ companies. If I have to give the numbers, I think you have already built like 21 million is what build has happened, and then 1.2 trillion API calling has happened. and then you have 1.9 billion this thing, or that cloud optimization for your customers. So looking
And
at
these
all
are
of
just in the
these
last 12 months.
last 12
These
months,
are
yeah.
just last 12 months. Yes, yes.
And I'm not even going to the revenue. I'll come to that
Yes,
later, which is, but all of these numbers, right? So it's really interesting to see. So I want to understand, like, what are the struggles and challenges that you went to achieve these numbers, because it's not that easy. It looks nice on the numbers. Again, revenue, if I have to say, like, 250 million,
250 million plus.
250 million plus 50% year on year, you're growing. So all these numbers is fascinating, but I want to understand, like, what are the challenges that goes into getting those numbers? How does it look in the next year going forward?
Well, so first of all, our business
Yeah.
doing very well.
Correct.
Where we are, 250 million plus revenue. That's a great
Correct. Yeah.
number for any product company.
Correct.
We are growing very fast at our size.
Correct.
So these are all good numbers. But behind the numbers, the things that really matter is, like, great product. We have to build, and we take a lot of pride in building a very good product.
Correct.
That's where, we are hiring some of the best engineers. We are growing our teams here in Bangalore in a significant way. But we also believe in the only way you can deliver the value to someone is by also very closely aligning with their outcomes. So outcome for, like, say, Europe, United Airlines, their outcome is they want to get their software to be more resilient.
Correct.
And they're like, they want to ship software faster. They wanted to modernize their whole, how they will do software engineering.
Correct.
So we have to deliver those outcomes. And so normally we work very closely with our customers. I mean, our software is not perfect. It's so you, as in, like, you may have features that they want, you may have some things that, so you have to partner very closely to do this, to deliver the outcome. So that's what we have done. That's what it takes. Business growing very well. So, we expect to, continue to grow. Like, we are expecting actually even higher growth rate next year than we had this year. Which is, like, normally as you grow, the growth rates start to slow down. We are seeing acceleration in our growth rate.
Correct.
And a big part of is, everyone is looking at, like, how do I modernize software engineering?
Correct.
And then everyone starts with, okay, let me bring AI for coding.
Correct.
And everyone has brought in at this point. And then you realize coding was the first 30%.
Correct.
I still need to modernize the rest of the stuff. And that's where Harness is in the right spot. Like, we have the best platform to be able to solve that. So we are seeing a lot of the tailwind and the momentum that comes with it. But the second thing that we are seeing is the AI generated code.
Correct.
AI generated code has a lot of problems.
Correct.
More code means more vulnerabilities, more bugs, more issues, more things, more, it requires more checks and balances, like, so, and people are worried about it, like, and rightfully so, like, and not it's just because that AI is getting very capable. So it's not, it's how good code comes out of AI is really depends on how proficient the developer using AI is.
Correct.
You can have one person who's using the same AI coding tool, Claude Code or whatever, and can create, like, really high quality code. Another developer using the same tool may not create high quality code because, in the way they are using it, the way they're interacting with it. So a lot of it's like, now you do need the safety harness for all that code coming in, and you have so much more code coming out. So we have a lot of, so when we look forward, we see a lot of growth in our business. We are definitely innovating heavily and building the best AI platform for everything that's happening. So it's a good time.
And any insight in terms of who are some Indian customers that have early adopted Harness? And I'm sure, like, your go-to-market also is expanding here in India. So what are you looking at companies that are using Harness? Like,
Sure.
Yeah.
So our focus has mostly in the US market.
Correct.
So we started in the US market. That's where about, I would say, close to 85% of our business is. So big part of the business is.
Correct.
And in US, we have, like, out of the top 10 banks in US, 8 are using Harness.
Wow.
We have, like, out of the top tech companies, many are using Harness.
Correct.
Some of the best known tech companies use Harness for their systems now.
Correct.
Retailers and airlines and all companies. We are expanding outside of US now, just recently. So we have put a lot of expansion in Europe now, and Asia and India are next on our list.
Oh, damn.
So as we kind of, now that we also raised this big amount of funding,
Correct.
go-to-market expansion in Asia and India, is an important part.
Correct.
We have a few major customers here, but go-to-market, in terms of go-to-market, the India market wasn't our focus in the past, but will be in future. There's a big presence of software engineering here, which is working for the companies and American and European companies and all.
Correct.
So a lot of our customers we sell to in the US,
Got it.
they have massive engineering teams here.
Correct.
So so India has a very strong significance from that perspective as well. Like
Correct.
like say some of the companies I talked about, like say Citibank,
Correct.
they have big engineering teams here. Like so a lot of
Correct.
times our users are in, even when we're selling to an American company, the lot of our
Correct.
users are in India are already.
Got it. So I think a lot of GCCs are getting set up here, and the opportunity is mad. Like I could already see that. Just a thing, I think you mentioned about funding. So the company valuation is 5.5 billion now, and so correct me if I'm wrong. You enter the billionaires club as well. Was it recently or before that? Like
That's just a number. To me, that's not that's
Got
not
it.
what drives me. I've been fortunate. Like in my first company, we sold a day before the IPO for $3.7 billion.
Correct.
To me, it's about solving problems and
Correct.
having fun solving problems. Build good products, build good businesses. Have the right teams, and that enjoy doing what you do. So that's the you know. The labels I don't really personally care too much care about. Yes, we are in a good spot.
Got it.
Harness is worth $5.5 billion after this funding.
Correct.
We are bigger than my previous company when we are going IPO.
Correct.
And but we feel our journey is just starting. Like the impact that we can make in the we can do it for the next 10 years, 15 years, and build a big platform. We look
Got
at like software engineering as a whole. There are 40 million software engineers in the world today.
Correct.
And you could be argued like with AI it comes down or it goes up, because it
Absolutely.
can. Now you have the vibe coders who are not like classically trained software engineers. Like they don't go to engineering school to learn software engineering.
Correct.
But they can start programming. So
Correct.
that can add another 30 million like the citizen programmers or vibe
damn.
programmers
Yeah.
on top of the
Correct.
the trained software engine programmers.
Correct.
But even for the today 40 million software engineers, that's about $4 trillion in software engineering. Like one software engineer is is at least $100,000 averaged across the world. So it's a massive opportunity to bring efficiencies into the software engineering world.
Got it.
So we are building it for a company for the long term to be the platform for a lot of the software engineering process. Everything that happens after coding, we become this fabric to take care of all of it.
So on that note, before I go to the roadmap and what to expect in 2025, on the competition bit, right? So we spoke about Replit, Lovable, and all of that. So how is Harness different? Even they can also build the last mile delivery and also solve that aspect also. I'm sure they're also thinking in the same line. They solved the first initial milestone of code generation and iterations and all of that for developers, which is already kicking off massively across. So I want to understand even what happens if they also build a similar thing as Harness and then they sell it to the enterprise. What would be Harness's moat then, or do you think? I'm sure like you think about competition. So so how do you see this entire landscape shifting for the next year?
Yeah. Well, the good thing is there's a lot of innovation happening.
Correct. Yeah.
The good thing is there's a lot, and that means good competition. And competition is a healthy thing for any market. We believe, the primary mode that we have is, building that enterprise knowledge graph.
Absolutely.
It's the AI agents by themselves, are not really that useful until you really understand the full SDLC and you can contextualize the agents for that. And that's where we have put in a lot of investment, a lot of effort, and we have some of the best technology around that.
Got it.
And that will remain a moat. But also the final part of like doing the actual deployment or doing the actual test, doing the actual optimization. We have been building a library of these algorithms and optimizations and orchestration layer for many years now.
Correct.
And that's very sophisticated. So that will have a big advantage. So, we are, competition is part of like, building a business. I always tell anyone like, if you wish there is no competition, don't start a business or don't run a business or don't, it's like you have to compete.
Got it.
And you have to, we are building some of the best products, and I have no doubt we'll continue to build the best products.
Got it. And from the conversation, what I got to know is like you're here for the long term. The exit is, I'm not sure whether it's going for IPO again. And this time, so what is your exit strategy? I know it's a long term game, like you mentioned, a decade is something that you're looking for. So, what would you want to achieve with Harness, like going forward? What is your vision?
Yeah, yeah.
And also on that note, since we'll be entering 2026, barely 2 weeks from now, so what are your vision, milestone, and also we'll get into the prediction that you're expecting, so it helps our viewers as well to be prepared in terms of what is coming next year, how exciting it is.
Yeah, yeah. So, for us as a company,
Correct.
we um, we want to go IPO at some point and
Got it.
operate as a public company. And we'll be IPO in the American markets. That's last time we sold my company right before the IPO.
That-
This time, that's not I do think because there's so much potential to do.
Correct.
It just feels like we are just at the beginning of what we could solve.
Correct.
And to me, I don't use the word exit because it's not an exit. It's
Got it.
like if some shareholder can exit, they can sell their shares, they can sell their shares to someone else. Some of our employees can do it, and we are creating as even this part of this 240 million round.
Correct.
$40 million is a secondary employee tender. So our employees are gonna get $40 million out of this, like employees who have been with us for many years. They've been building out this technology, so it's really that's a liquidity of some event of some kind. Doesn't mean you have to exit and end your journey.
Correct.
Right? So because I do think so many problems are to be solved.
Correct.
So that's what we are building for. That's our path at Harness. And I'm pretty confident that we'll be a public company at some point, and we are bigger than my previous company when we are going IPO.
Correct.
In terms of revenue and everything. It's just whenever the markets are at the right place. In terms of predictions for next year,
Yeah.
I think AI is very mainstream. Like any technology, you see a lot of excitement, and you go into a little bit of this disillusionment period before everything comes back, and that you fix things. I think we're gonna see a bit of that in 26.
Got it.
Which is a healthy thing to do.
Got it.
Because there's a lot of promise, and people will realize that okay, the promise doesn't really fully work until you have the right context. Until you have is it really ready for a large company, for an enterprise? Is it really solving the problems? Is it accurate that they need to do in the right levels? All of those, we'll go through a bit of the challenge on the AI front, and then most companies will learn how to use it properly and how to have the right context and the knowledge graphs and semantic layers, and you'll hear a lot of new innovations for AI to be more ready for at least in the business and the enterprise context.
Got
The
it.
consumer context, it's been used heavily.
Correct.
The enterprise and the business context is still work to be done.
Got it. And so some wacky prediction, like say in the future, like software engineers will be managing agents. Do you have any of those kind of things? Like
Yes, of course. Like even today they are. If they're not, they should. It's like sometimes people ask me like as a software engineer, how do I make sure AI doesn't take my job?
correct.
Like the only way to make sure is that you become very good in using AI,
Correct.
which is become very good in managing software agents.
Correct.
So if you are a software engineer watching and you're not learning to be very proficient with using AI and AI agents, your job is at risk. So learn AI and learn how to use AI to do software engineering.
Got it. That's a wonderful message there. Thank you, Jyoti, for that wonderful conversation. Really enjoyed our discussion. And I wish you all the best and Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and really like the vibe of this entire new office. Thank you so much. Yeah.
If you watch.